And welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. Welcome, everybody. It's Hump Day. I hope everybody's having a good day. If you're wondering what the lunch stream is, well, that's where we hang out with you good folks for the next hour or so. Bring you something fun to listen to during the workday, whether you're listening to us live or listening to us later on, either on iTunes or YouTube. It doesn't matter. We're just here to entertain you. We'll do a roster review. We'll answer questions. It's Pirate Day, so we'll do some fun stuff with that. We got a lot of great people here today to answer your questions and have fun with y'all. A lot of news coming out from Galaxy Heroes, but let's go ahead and knock out the mechanisms. If you can, guys, go ahead and hit a thumbs up on this video if you like what you're seeing. It does help support the channel and getting the content out there. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. That way you can be notified of all the cool stuff we're doing. We did Battlefront yesterday. We did Diablo, the new season. We got a lot of stuff that we're doing, so the best way to find out about it and when we're streaming, because we do a lot of live streaming, is just be a subscriber. And also, if you haven't checked out our Patreon page, please do. It's up. You can become a Patreon and help support the channel to keep hearing the quality content that you guys love to see. All right, let's introduce everybody. Down the line, we've got Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman here.
It be RSG Wednesday, not official Pirate Day.
It's a Pirate Wednesday for the RSG crew. And leading us in that will be the one and only Captain T Money, who apparently be...
I am sorry, that mute button eluded me. I got it, though.
She be in Walmart right now, procuring supplies and stuff for this ship.
Aye, looking at Star Wars Halloween costumes, but they're all from the dark side.
What's wrong with that?
It confirms something for me that I've always known deep down.
What?
Canadians be evil.
Oh, no.
Oh, nasty.
Oh, my God. Oh, jeez. Okay. But, so... All right, let's see who else we have here. We've got Grim the Mechanic.
How's it going?
Glad to have you here. We got Xylo here. Stoner Jedi.
He said he'd be right back.
All right, then. We've got the Chicken Chaser himself, the French Tickler Grande Pappy Patron. Who else we got? Let me see here. We've got Mike, all the way from across the pond, who has broken off from his daughters to have peace and quiet.
Avast me, laddies.
Our T-Money, he be trying to join the crew.
Aye, he's doing much better this week. I think he's been practicing. Good job, Mike.
God.
I'm actually related to that Captain Cook bloke.
Are you really?
No, seriously, no shit. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's kind of cool, actually.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm just saying. So, welcome everybody to the show. If you guys do have questions, go ahead and put them in chat, and Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, will scoop those up and get those to us here after we get done with the roster review. I'm just getting my pit raid going, and then we'll get right into the roster review. Get this. Come on. I don't know why emulator's being so ridiculous. Go ahead. Put you on auto. And then take off. Go. There we go. All right. Now I can go back to the roster review. All right. So we're going to do the roster review. We'll get to your questions. We'll have fun today. All right. So today we are going to be doing Jason's solo low. It's a lot of lows in there, Dr. Finn. And he is in dark.
It's two.
It's solo low.
It's two.
It says
it's still a lot. I agree.
It's
I'm
one
with Ranger
extra
on this
low.
one. It's a lot
it
of lows.
says SOLOLOS.
It's one extra low.
Solo.
Okay.
Solo low.
Oh my God.
It's tricky, though.
Uh,
I found the brooms. We're closer to the vacuums.
All right. T-Money's in Walmart trying to get some stuff there. Do not buy anything else, T-Money, other than you went to the store for. She's already been distracted a couple times. I think that if she sees maple syrup, it's all done for her. We're trying to keep her on target, so stay on target, T-Money.
Aye.
All right, so
She almost there.
we're not doing the pirate thing while we do the
I
roster
love
review.
battles.
We're not doing pirates while we do the roster review. So they're in Dark Lord race. So shout out to that guild. And Finn, what is Jason looking for today?
All right. So what he's looking for today for his review is an overall review of his heroic Sith readiness, a potential alternative team for him to use versus Treya lead. So a little bit in arena, where he should put his next Zeta, and how he can improve his fleet arena. And he gave his starting lineup and all that. So we can go into that when we get started.
All right, so let's start with the first one. You said let's look at his overall readiness for heroics.
You know this is one of my guilds, right?
Yeah, nobody cares.
This is a Dark Lord.
It's a Dark Lord. Yep.
Oh, well, in that case, nobody cares.
And then, sorry,
It's
also
Dark
he
Lords.
wants to have an idea about his Chewbacca readiness with that coming
Oh,
up.
let's do that first then. So let's look at his bounty hunters. Let's see. If I can get GG to cooperate with me. All right, filters. There we go. Now let me
It's
pick
because
bounty
you
hunter.
stopped talking in a pirate voice, R.
No, we're not doing the damn pirate
That's
voice
why
while
it's
we're
not
doing a
working.
roster review. We're not doing
He has
that.
5, 7. Actually, he has 6 7-star bounty hunters, and Dengar is at 6-star. So he has them.
Gears an issue.
He has 3 of them at 85. He has 1 at, Cad Bane's at 80, Greedo's at 75, Zam Wessel's at 70. So you're pretty much ready. What I would do is accumulate resources. They said it was going to be difficult, right? But we don't know what difficult means.
We really don't.
Traditionally, the legendaries have not been needing more than gear 8, gear 9. But always there's a chance that they change something. So I would not go over investing because of the Chewy event. Now, if you wanted to work on bounty hunters, then that's fine. You're doing it with a different purpose. But if the purpose is simply Chewy, just start accumulating gear for now. You don't have to spend it. You can prepare as if you're getting ready for Chewy. And I'll tell you right now, Chewy needs like 4 stun guns, according to the GG page. And 5 Carbantis, so there'd be like 1 full Carbanti, I think, separate, potentially for a thermal detonator. I forgot to check that. But, I mean, he needs a lot of the gear. And so that gear kind of is used for the other characters. Stun cuffs, he needs like 3 of them. So just go ahead and start accumulating the gear that you would in order to get Chewy to like gear 11. That gear will overlap with your bounty hunters. And then if you need to level up your bounty hunters, you have the gear ready. So
yeah, you should have. I don't think you have any problem getting 5 or 6-star Chewy. 7-star is going to be a whole another ball of wax, I think, for a lot of folks. Because usually,
because we still don't know.
We don't know,
We
but
still don't.
Typically 5 and 6 stars. You know, the difficulty level is not.
I mean, for the 7 stars.
But
I mean,
7
typically
stars,
it's
oh boy, yeah, I'm panic farming gear like a mug. Because I'm trying to get my characters at least. I got Greedo, who's just like 6. I think 6 pieces of 1 to get 10, and then I'm looking at Dengar. I'm like, oh, I need 4 whole Carbantes of 50 each. Okay, well that sucks. So, and my boss is not going to be 7 stars before the event. I may have him at 6, but not 7. And so I'm gonna have to go with the Boba Fett lead for this event whenever they launch it. So. Good times. But you should be able to unlock.
Wait a
Chewie.
second. Is it just me, or did Ranger just say Bubba Fett?
Listen,
He always says Boba Fett. It's his accent. It's his accent.
Boba. There, you've happy Grim.
That's the T.
Bubba Fett.
Bubba's his-
Mode is on and
Bubba's
found
his
slave-
chubby Bubba's his chubby brother.
Listen, T, I gotta tell you about using the pirate
the
voice.
chubby clone.
It's a
The
chubby
chubby-
clone. The one
the
that's a
chub-
reject clone. The
Don't
one
judge
that
him.
show up in the movie.
It's like, I like cake.
He's stressy.
Hey, if it's a chubby clone, its numbers would have to be 8888.
I don't get that lore joke, but okay.
Arr, you'd be wrong.
Is that the one that Jabba played around with the test tube on?
All right.
Okay. Focus. Back on target.
It's shake and bake, and I helped.
All right. So we looked at his bounty hunters. Let's start going through his teams. I think his JTR team should be fine, but we'll just look over his resistance overall.
I know
What
which
he's got.
theatre he needs.
Oh, he's got the Zetas. He's got Zeta Finn. Resistance Troopers 12.
No,
Raise 11.
no palps. Yeah. He's got a few Sith, but no palps.
Well, we're looking at. What do you mean he has no palp unlocked? Period.
No Palpatine Zeta is what it is.
No Palpatine Zeta.
I'm about to say what the hell. All right, so Resistance assigned. So you have a good solid Phase 1 team. No issues there. Phase 4, let's look at Nightsisters. And speaking of Nightsisters, a little bit of a change going on there, Dr. Finn.
Yep.
The Nightsister rework. I have to say, I love the rework. I know not everyone is thrilled with it, but I think once you get an idea about what it's going to do, you'll be really happy with it.
Explain that.
I've been reading over that thing quite a bit, and a strong zombie now is really, really awesome, especially in the heroic Sith raid. But we'll go into more detail about that, I think, tonight, because that's going to be our big topic of discussion there.
I don't even know how super strong it has to be.
Gear 10.
Has to be
At
healthy.
least Gear 10.
Do you think so?
Healthy.
Well, because that's when you get that new ability. That other ability that's added doesn't get unlocked until Gear 10.
I didn't realize. I didn't read that part. I didn't realize you had to be Gear 10.
Mm-hmm. It's a gear restricted one, and it kind of forces you to get to Gear 10. Because otherwise, you could still manipulate the system by getting only to like Gear 8 or something, and you still wouldn't promote a strong zombie. And then once you get to Gear 10, there's almost like no point for you not to go higher. But we'll go into more detail about that. Like I said, I've been like reading over that rework every so often the past half day, last 12 hours or whatever since it's been released, and it's a really good rework. I think CG did a good job with that. But in terms of your heroic Sith, I think you'll still be in good shape if you have a strong zombie with the rest of your Nightsisters. And I mean, we can look a little. How the rest of your Nightsisters look in
they look
really good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to
He
get
needs a couple of Zetas.
Well, he needs a Zeta on Talzin, at least Plague Bearer, right? And then I think he's got a Saj lead. Yeah, I hear unique is important too.
He's got
He has the
Rampage.
unique.
Oh, you need the lead. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you might as well finish off a Saj, and then the next Zeta you could go. We haven't looked at your Zetas, but you could Mother Talzin. I absolutely love Plague Bearer. Now I've done all 4, so I did both on Asajj and Mother Talzin. So, and I love them both because I like the fact that
I've done all 4 and
they're interchangeable for certain teams and stuff, and territory wars and other stuff. The Nightsisters are interchangeable with the leads and stuff, and I love it.
Not anymore.
Why?
Not with the new zombie. With the new zombie, Mother Talzin's lead is not quite as good.
It's perfectly fine. People are overreacting. Mother Talzin is still perfectly fine.
Plague Bearer is Plague Bearer. I don't care about the rest of it. I just want her to be spreading that plague around.
Mother Talzin's res ability is only part of it. The fact that she can get plague
I never gave a crap.
is the other part.
Yeah, I never cared a crap about that part. I just cared about the ability to, for the Nightsisters on under your specialty spreading plague and just getting tons of dots on there. I mean, it is a killer for tons of teams out there. I mean, that's what makes the Nightsister so great is you can go Asajj or you can go Mother Talzin, and for whatever situation you're in, and they both are viable and can really help you in a lot of ways. So Nightsisters look really solid. Let's look at. I think he's got what he needs for Chex Mix, right? Let's look. Let's see where he is overall.
Rebels, for the most part. Let's look at his Rebels.
Let's see. He's got Chirrut. He's got Han, CLS. I mean, what about Death Troop? Oh, we got to get Death Trooper up. He's got to be at least Gear 11. I mean, 10 is okay, but really, I guess for Chex Mix is okay because you're just wanting to get the Death Mark on. But I mean, his abilities and you kind of want him at 11. So you want to get your Death Trooper to 11. Just with that Death Mark, you want that on there. And then we know we got Chewie coming in, so that might change things. But if you don't have a 7-star Chewie, then you can still use Chirrut, and you've got him 12 stars. So that's really good. Let's see. Zeta on Vandor Chewie.
His POW being level 80 for Chex Mix might just be a little low. It might just require a little more RNG in order for him to survive. So
Yeah,
just something
get him to 85 and gear 7.
If you get him to level 85, increase his survivability just a little bit. Don't need to really invest any gear in him. He's gear 8, so that's fine. Just depends how much RNG you want to have with him.
All right, so it looks fine for Chex Mix. Let's look at different teams. He's got Grandmaster Yoda. I'm not seeing Hermit Yoda. He does have a 6-star Wampa. Okay, Hermit Yoda 6-star. So and they both have the Zeta. Interesting. So get those two going, and then you can go like Kenobi or Boba Fett for Phase 2. You can run Sith in Phase 2. A lot of teams you can run. You can run Shotgun Leia. We'll see your Akbar's 11. I'm looking for your Princess Leia. Chili. She's 10. So if you're gonna run Shotgun Leia, you've got to get her at least 11. She just will not do enough damage, and even at 11, it's kind of hard. Typically 12 is where you get the big money shots from her. But Akbar, what are your Phoenix looking for Phase 2? We'll see if you've got. Well, let me just pull up Phoenix. Come on, GG, quit fighting me, God.
So he said he's close to a 7-star Hermit Yoda.
Okay, yeah, so good. Get Hermit Yoda done, get Wampa done, you'll be good to go. Sabine Wren, 7-star, gear 8, that's fine. Get her to 85. You can use her in that team with like Kenobi and Hermit Yoda and Thrawn and Wampa, or you can go. There's a lot of the great thing about your roster, Jason, which I really like, is that you farm the right pieces. Other than a little gear or leveling here and there, you're in the position to where you'll be able to run some really solid teams in Heroic Sith. I mean, looking at what you're doing, just fixing, gearing up and doing some things, I think you look great, man, for Heroic Sith. I really do. You've got Phase 1, 3, and 4 ready to rock and roll, and I think you got enough pieces that once you finish them up here that you're going to be doing just fine in Phase 2. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I think he's done a great job. And everybody else is silence. Well, kiss my ass.
I agree.
Great job.
I agree. He's been doing a good job.
I think he did.
No, be doing that pirate crap while we're doing damn roster.
Can we call him?
He's been listening to Grande. His overlord and
yes,
master, right,
Grande?
Grande?
Overlord of all Dark Lords.
I'm so far from being the overlord of all Dark Lords, but
you're the Lord in Dark Lord.
No. Oh man!
Insanely the dark, because he doesn't have a soul.
If you only knew, but
he's done
funny.
Really well with this roster. I'm seeing a lot of solid pieces. I'm seeing a lot of stuff here. This is a really good, roster for your GP. What is your GP? I didn't even look. Let's look at his profile.
3 point something.
Yeah, it's perfect. Makes sense that he's focused on the right characters. He's focused on the characters that he's been needing. He has all the legendaries unlocked. This is a great roster. It's just gear and some stars, and but that's even us that are I'm 3.6 mil GP, and I'm still farming characters and gear and stuff. It never ends, my friend. But if you focus on the right tunes, you'll be good. You do want to get your Han Solo gear 12. That's when you want to get to 12 with that bayonet. That is a big difference in damage for Han Solo. Especially for the Chex Mix team. Looking overall, Nihilist looks good. So yeah, I think you're in a great spot to do some significantly good damage in the Heroic Sith raid, especially once you finish up the things that we mentioned. All right, so that's Heroic Sith. What's next there that he wanted us to look at, Dr. Finn?
Okay, hold on. Let me bring that back up here. So the next thing is alternative teams in Arena to fight Trey Elite.
Well, you have
He's currently running Jedi Training Ray.
Well, Jedi Training Ray ain't gonna cut, unfortunately.
Nope.
So we have to look at either two options.
And he doesn't have a Zeta on Palpatine, which is something we may want to consider.
Well, yeah. So let's look at his Jedi first.
Well, most of his Sith are Gear 11 too.
Yeah.
Gear 10 and Gear 11.
Except not Scion, right? Scion and Nihilus.
He does have Bastila with the Zeta,
Nihilus
but she's
is
only
Gear
geared 8, and she's only 3 stars. There's two main options right at this moment. Well, 3. Jango Fett, but he's paywall, so let's not talk about that. Bastila team can do well. You do have a lot of the components, but they're not there yet. Bastila needs Gear 11, and Ezra needs Gear 11 to at least have a fighting chance. You do have the Zetas on your Hermit Yodas, and you do have a Gear 12 Kenobi. That team can beat Traya teams. It is what it is. So that's one option if you want to invest in the gear and these characters. Totally fine. If we look at your Sith, and you do have an Emphas, so that's a key component, and you do have the Zeta on Emphas, so that's pretty cool. So you don't have Traya, so Scion needs to get to at least gear 11 minimum. Gear 12, he's really amazing. You've got the Sith there. Let's see. Nihilus is gear 11. Emperor Palpatine's gear 11. Sion's gear 8. We need to get Darth Sion geared up. You want those two components working together. You could go Sith with Emphas and a Thrawn, so you can go like Emperor Palpatine. I've seen this team. Palpatine lead, but you have to have the Zeta on Palpatine. You need the Zeta on Nihilus. I'm sorry, on Sion, not Nihilus, with more gear. You can run Thrawn in that team with an Emphas, and you can really do some significant damage, and you can beat Traya teams with that team. I have seen teams like that in the top. Hell, even in the top team, there's one guy running at top 20 in my shard. It's in the top 50. It can be run, but it's an offensive team. It doesn't hold as well on defense. But then again, a lot of teams don't hold on defense that well. That could be an option you go, but that's a lot of investment. So I kind of lean towards Sith more than the Basileus team. It's going to be your call here, Jason. Either you go Sith and you commit the resources to it, or you go Jedi and you commit the resources to it. You've committed most of the resources already to the Jedi team, so it wouldn't be too hard to get that team the gear and then be able to run it in PvP. But your stronger team will always be the Sith team right now. I mean, Sith is meta, Palpatine and Traya and then Traffic. So
how close is he to getting Traya, anyways?
I don't even know if they're Grande. Are they doing heroics?
This particular guild is not doing heroic yet. It's on the list.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So
we are trying to get. We are in the we're in the process of trying to get like 17, 18 guilds heroic, and the challenge is that we can only do like maybe 2 or 3 at a time, and then because of the way the scheduling works, where you only have so many days or hours that you can move players around this month, it's been really difficult.
Your other option too, and this is going to be Chewie's going to change the meta. How much I don't know yet. Chewbacca coming to the game with your OG Han. I mean, we're going to have to see what that does with Rebels against. From all the initial data on offense, Chewie can kill Traya teams, but it's kind of hard to gauge because a lot of those videos are maxed out teams and going at each other and stuff.
With God mods.
Right. I can't tell you that Chewie will be the be-all, end-all for Traya. It could help. From what we see on paper and the initial reporting and looking at it, it could be a viable option for you. Since you do have a lot of the rebels taken care of, it's going to create some team dynamics that may change the meta. But that's still up in the air. So I would say hold off until we get Chewie and get a better understanding of Chewie. You have 3 options. You can go Bastila with the Jedi. You can go Chewie, whatever team that turns out to be, because you are going to be able to unlock Chewie. And he may be viable at 5 stars. Most legendaries are. I know Thrawn was. I know Nihilus wasn't a legendary, but Thrawn was. Who else has been a legendary?
R2 was a game changer when you think about it.
He's a very good
with
character,
that burn mechanic.
Right.
Was BB-8 legendary?
Yes, he is legendary.
So,
yeah, but
so
he wasn't really much of a game-changing character because he requires JTR to be super effective.
Yeah, but
I don't know. There was a lot of people that used him under CLS for a long time.
Yeah, there was. It was meta for a short time. Then they did all these other reworks. It's like, nope. So you got some options. So Jason, I would say just work on at least getting the gear on these characters, and then saving your Zetas for now, and reevaluating once we get enough information for us to give you a real good assessment of where you should go. But at the minimum, let's get some gear on these guys. And then that way we can tell you a better option for you, for your teams, for what you have. All right.
Does he have a Zeta on Bastila?
He does. I mean, the Jedi are a viable option for him. He does have the Xeon Basilisk. She's 3 stars, but she's only gear 8. Edra's only gear 10.
What I would do is I would just try it without any gear. Basilisk is a cheap date. She takes 2 stun guns, a droid collar, and a MK5 furnace to go to 11. But she doesn't do damage anyway, like as long as you can protect her with your old Ben. So you go Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda, Hermit Yoda, CLS, and Old Ben. Did I say Old Ben twice? Bastila, the 2 Yodas, CLS,
General
and Old Ben. Kenobi. Yeah, actually, if GK, if you have GK,
he does,
I think
12-star, yeah.
He'd be better. Yeah. Try it with both because, mind tricks can take all of the Sith turn meter away, which is really nice. Yeah. But you have to mod for that team because you have to overcome the critical chance on the Sith trail lead.
Yeah.
So you basically have to get Grandmaster Yoda to like 60, 70, 80% critical chance, and then you just use Luke with a bunch of potency, and you just take Luke and you take Sith Troopers buffs off and put buff immunity on him, and then you just go and you kill Traya as fast as you can with that team, and it works, but you have to mod for critical chance to overcome it.
Well, that's the using that team against Traya is with the wedge lead, right? It is a trade killing team, but you need to have the gear and the mods on it because you have to do what you just said: get past Trooper and burn the hell out of Traya, or you're in trouble. So you do have some options. We'll Jason, I would just work on your farm. You can start using the Jedi. You just got to get Basla and Ezra to 11, and you can start using that team in Arena right now because you've already invested the Zetas, so it's a good solid team for you. But moving forward, is Basla going to be the team you want to keep? I don't know. Let's wait and see whether Sith or Chewie, and then we can give you a better idea. All right, what's the next thing, Dr. Finn? Was there anything else?
Hold on. I'm bringing up the list again here. So we talked about, you guys just talked about the next Zeta, so that's fine. We talked about the Chewie, and then so the last thing is improving Fleet Arena. His current lineup is, and he didn't write what the capital ship is, but we might be able to figure it out. But front line is the Geos, and his backup is Vader, Cassian, Plo Koon, and Poe.
I would say that's got to be
Tarkin? That's the current meta, isn't it? Is Geos, unless you wailed out on Cads and Houndstooth.
Yeah,
you didn't have to wail out on them. But
I mean, one thing you could, I don't know what you're facing and what your difficulties are, but I mean, potentially what you can do, and I've seen this a lot, is you move Sunfac into your reinforcements, and where's his Houndstooth? Because you can put Houndstooth with Geonosian Soldier and Geonosian Ship, or Geonosian Spy.
3 stars.
Lineup, and then Sunfac.
Unlock 3-star.
3-star, okay. So
too squishy.
Gear 11 5-star Bosk.
Yeah, it's okay, but until you get
okay,
boss,
yeah, I wouldn't do that. The Houndstooth is going to be too squishy.
He does have the Xenon boss, so that does give it a little bit more. But
one change then would be to potentially bring in Biggs off of reinforcements.
That's a good one.
Because you don't have like another real solid tank coming in. Plo Koon is nice because he does the healing, but he doesn't. You need another taunter in order to help cover. And Biggs does come in when you have his reinforcements max with target lock and everything, so he'll start off with that taunt. So I would say that you want to consider putting Biggs in your reinforcements with that team. So that would be one potential change.
Or Boba.
Or you could do Boba as well. Yeah, Boba's a really good one. What are you, I know he's in the chat, what are you typically facing that you're having difficulty with in Fleet? Because you have a pretty solid lineup. The only change would be a little bit more tankiness. And so, I mean, maybe your question is more towards not dropping and not necessarily rising. So I just want to make sure we know what exactly you're looking for in terms of Fleet improvement, because you're on a good track here. Your squad is definitely a good one.
All right, so his capital ship is
Tarkin, he said.
Is that John Wisnick? That's
Yep.
Okay, so I just want to make sure. So Tarkin, that made sense because Vader's a reinforcement off the bench with Tarkin is really nice. It's kind of.
I mean, also if he's looking for a perma taunter, Clone Sergeant works really well. As long as he has protection, he's taunting. when he's a reinforcement. So if you're looking for taunting tanks, he could be another one.
Yeah. I mean, there are some options there for you. I do like Boba as a reinforcement. I do like Biggs as a reinforcement if you do put Houndstooth in the beginning. But if you're running the 3 Geos, then, you know, you got to make sure that they've got the gear and stuff on them to be able to survive. Because if they can, then you should be okay. But if they can't, then...
Yeah, I mean, I think mainly would just be for defense.
I don't think his Houndstooth is not going to work. It's just too low for the.
No, definitely not Houndstooth. 3-star Houndstooth is not enough. But I mean, he can put in Boba. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say any 3-star on your starting lineup is going to paint a giant target on your team.
Yeah,
people will be attacking you a lot.
Yeah, Clone Sergeant won't work because it's not geared enough. I don't think for this. Just
Biggs and Boba Fett coming off the lineup, focusing a little bit on Boba's gear. He's the reinforcement, so it's not going to be as visible if you bring him off the bench that he's not as geared, but that's fine. But I think on defense, you can throw in more tanks, and the reason for that is all you're trying to do is get to Tarkin's special. And then once you get to Tarkin's special, then everything should die. So if you want on defense and your issue is more the drop aspect, then yeah. Yeah, he said he's mostly facing Thrawn with the ties and Big, so you really shouldn't have an issue with that, I don't think.
No. I mean, it could be the way his reinforcements are coming in. But
yeah, just go more tanky. Go more tanky, and that team's going to have a hard time taking out your ship.
Yeah, and that's what you're trying to do, especially with Tarkin, because you're just trying to last until it's your turn, and bam, that TIE Fighter attack comes in, and then you win, basically.
His TIE Fighter attack isn't maxed, though.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Get it up to 5.
Get it maxed.
Max that stuff out.
It does an extra 30% damage when you have it maxed, which stuff will live through the attack if it's not maxed.
Yeah. That's the one ability, if nothing else on him, you have to get maxed out.
You're just trying to survive until it's your go to use that ability, because once you do, it's game over pretty much. Because especially if it's maxed out, it just wipes the snot. I mean, I've had 4 ships in there, and it's gone. I'm like, really? It's like, you son of a
okay, he's saying he's having trouble with the climb. So I don't know if you can provide a little more detail in terms of what the trouble is. My initial guess is that you don't have another taunter. So I might keep Biggs as a standard reinforcement for you, whether climbing or not. So you have another taunter, because once you lose Sunfac, your Geonosian soldier in particular is going to be super exposed. Mm-hmm. And once he goes down, then you have none of the assists going on. So I think your 2 key reinforcements are going to be Biggs and TIE Advanced, and trying to get those in quickly. The other ones, you can kind of go with whatever you want. It'll allow for a little more flexibility, but I think you're going to need another taunter, and I may drop Plo Koon, depending. Plo Koon isn't bad. You may want to drop Poe.
Yeah, Poe on that doesn't work for me. I like Vader because of what he does, especially when he comes off. He can really knock the snot out of the other team as a reinforcement. I like Boba, I'd like Biggs, and then a 4th one. What would be a really good 4th one for him? Let's think of something really solid, because I mean, those 3, I definitely agree. I mean, maybe Maul's
He's always
ship.
got Phantom.
You could, I like Phantom and Ghost with Akbar, not Executrix.
Yeah, I'm just. I mean, if he maxes out the ability, then he will bump their reinforcement. Yeah. So he just gives him another round where he might have, he can overpower them with numbers.
Possibly. I mean,
but yeah, I know.
Also maxes AOE.
He's got Gauntlet, but the characters are not strong enough for him to use it. That's a really good reinforcement ship with that kind of lineup because of the protection up as well, and can do a lot of nice stuff. Possibly, but you're gonna have to get Gar.
It's got Ewing, Biston. Biston could be
that's a nice one, yeah. That could be one.
That can be really naughty, especially if he maxes out the reinforcement there, because it calls in. an assist, doesn't it?
Yeah, you could go scimitar as well as another reinforcement because you can then manipulate whoever to have the retribution and give health and protection back to that ship. So that could help you sustain your survivability as well. So you may want to consider scimitar as well as your fourth. So kind of look at that. But those other three that we mentioned, Vader, Boba, and Biggs, coming off your reinforcement, I think would help you out a lot.
Where's his Reaper? Oh, his Reaper is high too. So one of the reasons why Reaper might work also is because Executrix is fast, but it needs an extra turn in order to get its ultimate up. And so potentially Reaper is something you may want to use off your starting lineup in order to change around the turn meter a little bit.
Reaper's really nice.
So Reaper is another potential in your reinforcement. Just depends on how you want to play it. I think if you... Yeah, he's saying he's getting taken out too quick. Yeah, so then the main thing for you is that you're lacking a tank, yeah. So minimally, Slave 1 and Biggs, then TIE Advanced, and then you can kind of play around with the other one. There's a lot of different options for that fourth spot.
All right. Anything else we need to do there, Dr. Finn?
No, I think that's it. So if you have any questions, then you know where to find us.
Nope, Jason, if you have any problems, and again, hold off on your lineup, but once you do decide, you'll pretty much have a good idea. So you've got 3 options for your PvP, you know who to farm and keep working on, and you've got your idea for your ships. See how that lineup works, and if it's still not working for you, it could be a gear check on your geos, really, if it's a survivability, if that's not helping you with the extra tanks coming in. So let us know. We're here to help you, buddy, and we'll be glad to answer any of your questions anytime. That's what we do here. All right. That is the roster review. So, Dr. Finn wanted to... let me see how I did in the pit rate. I usually get like 29th or something. Let's see how I did today. Let's see, rewards. Let's see what I got. I got 5th. I'll take 5th. Who got first? King Felix, you son of a... Rigged.
Hey, you're the one that wanted him in your guild.
I know, I love having him. We got MJ and King Felix in our guild. I love those guys.
They're so you can't complain now.
No, King Felix, they're amazing guys. All right, Dr. Finn wants to draw.
We're gonna try something new here.
We're gonna try something different here. Let me just bring that over here.
So we're going to so just a few things here because I've been watching chat. I know a lot of you guys are upset with the Paper Zombie rework. The rework is actually going to be pretty good. So just relax, wait until Wednesday night. If you want to go in the RSG Discord, I saw Ouchie just post it. There's a post by Skeltrix basically saying that the new zombie basically gets you about the same scores in the raid. So just relax, guys. The abilities are really, really good. It just takes a little while to understand how the mechanics work. The faction is still very much in play. All the Zetas are still very much in play, except maybe DACA. Everything else is still going to work well. So just relax and then make sure you guys tune in tonight. We'll go through it in a lot more detail because it's not enough time to go through all of it right now because
I know you guys have questions. The debate is going hot and heavy in the chat, but we'll cover it tonight. Don't worry, guys. We don't miss anything. We cover everything. We'll give you our honest opinion. I mean, initially, I'm like,
all I can say is it's all Finn's fault.
Yeah, guys, really take your anger out on Finn. I don't know why you guys. I mean, it's Finn's fault. All this stuff that happens is because of Finn. So, yeah, that's science.
Yeah. So. Don't worry, guys. We'll go through all of it again. It's not as bad as you may think just by looking at it because all the abilities actually do come into play together really, really well when you read through it. So, So we'll definitely go.
That's right. We'll give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't you worry.
Since when does things on paper actually work in game?
Well, when there's people testing it with it right now, saying that it works exactly like it says on paper. So.
That's a big difference.
There you go.
Usually
there's
we don't
people
have,
actually testing it right now.
Yeah, we don't.
Saying
there's
so.
no. Yeah, usually we don't have test data. Times when we're discussing stuff.
I still blame Finn though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You're not wrong.
I will take full blame for this because I've been saying it for a while. They needed to change it, and I think the solution's actually really good. But
so it'd be Speak Like a Pirate Wednesday. So we have T-Money here with us.
Oh, so really quick what we're going to do. So somebody from the Amazon list got me the drawing pad. So really appreciate it. We've been using it for a few different things.
I forgot about the Amazon wish list. God bless America.
So I've been using it for some things. So far, I drew a port, and then I've also been using it to make notes on the what's it called? For the mod reviews and stuff, because it works out really well to help like kind of write it out and whatnot. So what I'm going to do today while we're answering questions, and Ranger, I have them in our stream questions channel for you.
Oh, I'll just answer. So you can draw. This is just going great.
Exactly. So I'm going to be trying to. So I found this Star Wars Magic card, and we're doing more with Magic the Gathering. And so someone created this Star Wars Magic card here, and I'm going to try and draw Darth Vader in this card while we're answering questions.
Yeah, I think I've been cheated. Captain T, are you there? You're be sounding distance.
What's that?
You be too far away.
What? I be too far away. Here I am. The lady in Walmart made me put down my phone. I found a vacuum and said, "What are you doing? Put your phone away." I said, "I'm streaming." She said, "What's that?" She didn't know. She didn't know. Oh, no. Yeah. Put your phone away, lassie.
What is streaming? What do you mean? What is the stream you speak of?
She gave me a look like I was an idiot. Oh. It's possible she's right.
All right, so Finn's going to try to draw Darth Vader. This ought to be good. Actually, I don't even want to answer questions. What the hell is that, Finn? That does not look like... That looks like what in...
Just wait until I get closer. God damn it.
Oh, my God. All right, so here we go. Question from Thoka. I assume these are from 926. Okay, Chewy. Question, can I expect a Ranger rant about the Nightsister zombie complete Nightsister faction nerf? If not, how come? I mean...
Give it time.
Give it time.
Just wait until they drop it, then there will be a rant.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm just not invested in Nightsister, so it's not that big of an issue for me. But if there's some stupid stuff in there, you know me, guys. I rant when I feel like it's necessary, and if I don't think it's necessary, then I won't rant, you know?
I will say, though, part of the problem with this rework, and it's not, I mean, there's not much they can do about it now, but the Nightsister fans, I'll say, are some of the most passionate fans in the universe, and so they are, in general, not happy with a change to anything that's already in play for them. And so that's always going to be a problem that they're going to have to deal with whenever they roll out these kind of changes. So...
Well, I don't think it's the fact that they're changing. Well, it is the fact that they're changing stuff, but it's the main fact is that they came through saying it's a good strategy to go paper zombie. The devs said this, and then they go and change it on everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
that we have commented.
Yeah, I ranted about that because you can't sit there and say it, but you know the change itself. I mean, I already knew it was coming. I've already yelled and screamed about it or ranted, and so you know that's already out there. But is the actual change that they came up with is it bogus? And we'll look at it. So if there's a rant needed, I'll rant. If not, then you know, sorry guys, I just don't rant to rant. There is usually a method to my madness. Thoka, question. Just got swamped at 7-star Gear 12. Should I jump right into Hermit Yoda or maybe try to get a few Gear 12 pieces for Arena Team? What do you think there, Pirate T?
Aye, Hermit Yoda. People do not get into my guild without Hermit Yoda. I don't care about their Gear 12 pieces.
Jesus. But what if it's for Arena Team money?
Aye, they better have a good arena rank too, so...
Well, they need arena pieces!
Of me. It might be a bit hypocritical.
That why she always be trying to recruit warriors.
I swear.
Aye.
I think
he's got it both. He's got the arena rank and the Gear 12 pieces. That one.
Arena team.
He has all that in a bag of chips.
I mean, Hermit Yoda's important, but you got to get your arena team Gear 12 as well. So, I think we can make an exception for that rule. If it's for that purpose.
Hermit Yoda actually, I don't feel needs Gear 12, does he?
No, this is for his arena team. This is for his arena
I think
team.
they're talking about the Gear 12 pieces for the arena team versus
getting Hermit Yoda.
Yeah, Hermit Yoda just needs to be Gear 10.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought he was saying should he get Gear 12 pieces for his Hermit Yoda, not again. Okay, gotcha.
All right, Sith Gorilla. Oh, wait a second. David Lee, question: what be your new favorite Nightsister territory war defensive lineup with a strong zombie?
It's probably still going to be about the same. There's not that much of a difference. It actually is going to make it so it's a little bit more difficult for some teams to actually beat it. And so what I think you're going to see is, if it's on defense, again, it's still going to be vulnerable to Imperial troopers and all of that, but Nightsisters with Enfys is probably still going to remain kind of the team for defense.
Yeah.
If you're using Nightsisters.
Yeah, I agree. Sith Gorilla question: when and with what medium did you first fall in love with Star Wars? Mine was in 1977, seeing the movie in theater as a child. I was immediately hooked. It was the first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters was Empire Strikes Back. So I remember that, and I was hooked at that point.
Same here.
Empire Strikes Back was it for me. What about the rest of you guys? T-Money?
I don't really remember the first one that I saw as a kid. I just remember, certainly I was of the age where it was like Ewoks and, that sort of thing.
Oh, Grande?
Yeah, same thing. Empire Strikes Back.
There you go. Grim?
Empire. I saw that when I was 6 years old, and that was the end of it.
There you go. Mike?
Yeah.
No Mike? Stoner Jedi? Is he here? I guess no?
Yeah, Empire. Empire's my favorite.
Yeah, I think a lot of us, Empire was the one that hooked us. All right. Camille Buhalski, question. So far, I only watched the Star Wars movies. I want to get my first book, though. What would be a good choice to start with? Google says the Thrawn trilogy is the most popular. The Thrawn trilogy is popular. You have to remember it's no longer canon. It's EU. I think the Lords of the Sith is a good one to get into. I'm trying to think.
When all else fails, the comic books are amazing.
Yes, the comic books are really good.
Even though they're, legends and extended universe and
the new comic books are canon.
It's
the
new ones are, but
yeah.
There's still lots of really good stories in the Star Wars comic books.
I mean, there's tons of great stories. Rogue Squadron from the EU. I mean, you can go back and read the Darth Bane trilogy. There's a lot of good ones. I would say start with Lords of the Sith. I really like that book. Tarkin was a really good one too. If you want to go old school though, the Timothy Zahn original trilogy of with Thrawn and everybody, Luke, and what happens right after Return of the Jedi is really good. Shadows of the Empire is really good. So you can go back and read those if you want. The newer books, I would say start with Lords of the Sith. I thoroughly enjoyed the hell out of that book. And Tarkin. I love Tarkin. I thought that was a great book, too. Hiram Jensen, question. What is the best free-to-play team to beat the last tier of Galactic Bounties? What gear do they need to be? 12. Thank you. Goodbye. I think...
Well, actually, if you have Django, they don't need to be so high.
No, but it's still pretty high. It's through Jesus Christ, that tier is ridiculous. Now, the only reason I didn't try it this time is because I saw Kira sitting there. I'm like, Kira? Oh, let me get those because I'm about done with Kira. I thought about doing Enfys, but I'm like, if I can finish Kira, then I can start working on finishing L3, and I'm already farming Enfys, so that was the only reason I didn't try it this time. But hey, did anybody beat Enfys tier this time?
I needed to
do so. Right.
You doing visas?
Yeah, T and I are on the same page.
Yeah, I'm not working on visas that much. I am farming here a little bit, but it's like, Kira first. Her lead is amazing. Anybody did beat Nephis here? Grande, what'd you do, buddy?
I was close, man. I was close. I can beat every other one but that one, but I have everything 7-starred but that one. Mm. So it was close, man. I probably tried it 20 times.
Oh,
and I'm going to tell you, I think it needs a couple of key zetas. I think it needs a Greedo as a zeta, and I think it needs Cad Bane, because you effectively need to be able to you need to do single point crowd control, and the easiest way to do single point crowd control is a stun. And so since you can't stun, it makes it kind of difficult. And so I really feel like you need 2 stunners on that team. I tried it both with Boba Fett leader, and I tried it with Bosk, and I have a Gear 12 Bosk with his leader zated. It's much easier with Gear 12 Bosk with his leader zated. Just helps with the survivability. The problem is that I just don't have enough stunners and enough non-attack damage like thermals. That really is what the problem was.
All right. Ski Trooper question: is shirt worth it to take from Gear 11 to 12? Not really concerned about the raid, but want to make sure my rebels are in a good shape for Chewie comps. I have Gear 12 base. I say yes, he is worth it, very much so. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think he's worth it.
Yeah, I do
but
too.
So the benefit of both of them, actually, I don't know about the rest of you guys. I kind of lucked into their Gear 12. They just happen to have pieces that like nobody else wanted, that nobody else really needed when I was leveling them up. And I'm like, okay, well, they're useful characters, so let me go ahead and just throw Gear 12 pieces on them. I don't know if I would have done it outside of actually just kind of having the random like gear items ready. Just to be fair, like I think it's worth it. They're good characters. That's why I didn't bother like holding on to them. But I just had them extra. They don't use a lot of common pieces for their Gear 12.
All right. Kazakagi Too Easy question: Finn, when are we getting another Around the World with Pirate RSG? I'll be in it. Our T Money, we be needed to do an RSG Pirate Around the World.
I don't know what that is.
Well, that's where we be having Grande go to different locations and given the culture. It could be who we've destroyed in our conquest there, Captain.
We can send him to the North Pole or something.
The North Pole.
Or it would need to be Tortuga.
Good old Greenland.
Go to Greenland.
Ye be knowing that Greenland be icy and icy be green.
It's ironic.
Those countries need to be changing their names.
Well, actually, Greenland's becoming Greenland again. It's sad.
It still be icy.
You know why it's called Greenland? Because of the warming period in the early beginning of the medieval times. It was actually green, and then the climate changes with the planet, with its rotation and everything like that, and it became cold again. It became ice, like it can be, and now.
I thought it was a sales tactic to get people to move there.
No, it really wasn't. No, that's what the Vikings called it, because they got farms and all this stuff there, and then as the ice came back,
Well, this boring non-pirate moment brought to you by
Ranger
Rain
1999.
It's all pirate related when you be talking about the Vikings.
Listen, if you don't know, you got to know this stuff as a pirate. Listen, it's not my fault. All right, let's see
Pirates
here.
not only be smart, they be adventurers.
That's
They
right.
be knowing their history.
All right, next question. Hermit Fulcrum question: if you leave mods off of your Gear 12 zombie, will that work like Paper Zombie?
Well, you don't need a Gear 12 zombie.
You
need a Gear 10. You need a Gear. Everybody's going to have a Gear 10 zombie.
Yes.
Or she doesn't work. Like, you just have to throw your Nightsister team away if she's not Gear 10. But then if she's Gear 10, then yeah, you can leave the mods off her and she'll work a little better. But they've put mechanics in so to like kind of offset a little bit her dying again and again and again. A bit, not a lot.
All right, let's see here. Question, Danilo Papayas. Yesterday, I put a bayonet on Boba Fett. Does this make a significant improvement? I only know it on Raid Han. Yes, it does, actually.
It does. It makes him hit considerably harder.
He hits really, really hard.
Just wait till you use execute. You'll go, when it does like 70k.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I just did it myself too. It's awesome.
Yeah, I have both and get that damn bayonet. It's nice. DB question: any tips on near bounty volunteer tier? I have gear 11, 12 bounty hunters. Have boss lead Zeta and 2 Zetas saved. I get all 5. I get all 5 to Nest, but can't cut through her protection. Any tips how to play this?
Again, this is the same concern that I had, right? So you can easily get to Nest. It's just how do you got a couple challenges here with Nest. The first one is how do you kill Nest without Annihilate? You have to figure out how to do this. How you do this is there's more than one way, right? So what it means is that you can only hit her and her not gain stacking protection right after it's been her turn, which means you have to save your high DPS hits like Bosk's all call-in assist for when it's just been her turn and now it's boss turn. So you have to do stuff like throw a lot of debuffs on her, and then when it's Boba Fett's turn, then you have to use execute. Because if not, she'll gain health back, and then she'll gain that stacking protection until after she's taken her turn. So you have to learn how to kill Nest without something else. Would Embo work? Sure, it'll work if you've got it. If you've got, you're running around rocking a gear 11 5-star Embo, it'd probably work. But let's talk about what's really farmable here, right? What's really farmable and how this would work is to run something like a double stun. How do you get a double stun out of a out of a bounty hunter team? You got to use Greedo and you got to use Cad Bane, so that way you've got her stunned when it's not her turn. Then she comes off of her turn, and then you can use the large AOE, and then you can stun her again. This is how you make that work with the farmable bounty hunters. Good luck trying to make it work without some kind of technique like that.
All right, Thomas Abbott, question. Yesterday you mentioned Yesterday you mentioned you would not recommend your guest level characters to 50 and mod them. I was just wondering, what type of player would you suggest that to? New players? If you're, and the reason we mentioned that yesterday, Thomas, is because as a new player, we're looking at the roster and the arena team's not even 85 yet. You get credits have to be used in a certain way. So the first thing you have to do is make sure your characters you're using are 85. Now, once you get to a point, there is a point you reach with saturation where you got to that point where a lot of your characters are 85 and stuff. Once you've done that and you start, you want to have stuff for mods and you've got enough in your bank to where you can start doing this, because it's not that expensive to take it to 50. But when you're not even got the cash to basically get your own arena team or some of your teams that you need for certain events to 85, they're not even 80, then you can't sit there and go do a bunch of characters to level 50, and not have any money left over. I mean, you have to be smart about how you use your credits in the beginning. Unless you're well, then it doesn't matter. But that's why we made the recommendation that we did. But you will reach that saturation point where you are like, okay, I've got a bunch of mods, I've got the credits, I could take a bunch of them to 50 at least, and put some mods on there just so I know where they're at. So, but that was back in the day when we only had GG. We wanted to be able to, see the mods that you have, but it's empty GP, so you have to be careful about that as well. So you just have to make that assessment as you're doing it. But yeah, it's for newer players. We don't recommend you do that.
I mean, look, if you're a brand new player, right? If you just reached 85, what do you need to work on? You need to work on the areas where you get paid. How do you get paid? You get paid by your arena, your ship's arena. You get paid by credit heists. So those are the type things that we want to have you make sure that you have those characters ready to go, which means you want to have 5 scoundrels, level 85 and 7-star, you know, that you put some into. Luckily, at this point, there's plenty of scoundrels for you to choose from. We want to make sure that you have an arena team where you can climb up as high as possible. What are we talking about? Well, you know, if you know, we'd like to have you in the top 5. If you can't get in the top 5, we want you in the top 10. You can't get in the top 10, we want you in the top 20. You can't get in the top 20, we want you in the top 50. You can't get in the top 50, we want you in the top 100. You know, being in the, you know, at this point, I think that, you know, most players, if they're able to use their resources well, should be able to reach the top 100 relatively easily, with a little bit of effort and a little bit of, you know, actually trying an arena. You know, where do we want you for your ships? We want you in the top 20. You know, we want you rank 1 if you can get it every day. If you can't, we want you top 5. If you can't, we want you top 10. If you can't, we want you top 20. Why? That's where you get crystals. You know, we want you in those. We want you at that next highest payout because that's how you gain resources for free. So after you've gotten these free resources, right? Arena, ship's arena, you know, the droid smuggling event and the credit heist. Then we want you working on, you know, raid teams. We want you to end up with a Rancor solo team. We want you to end up with some great AAT teams and some great Sith teams. Now, if you're doing all of that, if you've got a great arena team and you've got a great ships team and you've got these raid teams figured out, then yeah, raising those characters to level 50 and putting mods on them makes sense at that point. You know, does it make sense when you don't have that done? Absolutely not. But if you've got it done, then yeah, I would definitely recommend that.
All right, Thomas, I have a question. What gear level do my bounty hunters have to be to beat that required territory battles on Phase 5? Do you think a bounty hunter team at that level can beat the Chewie event?
We have no idea. None of us have played the Chewie event.
So you can't answer that part.
But let me tell you about this. You know, at this point, they've reworked all the bounty hunters. You could probably get that done with, you know, 7-star or 6-star bounty hunters at Gear 8, Gear 9.
Yep.
At this point, you could probably beat it like that.
Yeah,
you know, put some. Yeah, I mean, with 5 dot mods on them. You know, put speed arrows where you need speed arrows. Put health and protection and potency where you need it. Mod the 5, and you put any 5 in there, and you could make it work.
Absolutely. All right.
Do I think that'll beat Chewie? Probably not. Probably not. You're probably going to have to be better than 7-star and Gear 8 to beat the Chewie event.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
It's going. I mean, I cannot imagine that the Chewie event. You got to remember when were these items first brought out? Darkside TB is like 9 or 10 months old at this point, right? I mean, it's 9 or 10 months old, which means whenever they first created the event and they first gauged the difficulty level, it was 8, 9, 10 months ago. Well, 12 months ago, maybe even, right? Depending on how long it's been in the hopper before we actually saw it, which means this is pre every rework except for Boba Fett, which means this is pre-payouts. That content was created pre-payouts. This Chewbacca event is post-payouts. It's post-payouts. It's post-Embo. It's post-era Aura Singh. It's post-Jango Fett. That sucker's going to be harder. You know, it's going to be much more like, let's think of an event that is probably, it's going to be much more like how hard it was to get Thrawn, which means, you know, you're going to have to really probably push through the event in order to get there. You know, here's a good way to gauge it. You know how they have those, I don't even know what they call them, the parts and pieces or whatever? What's the name of the event that's going on right now? The Galactic Bounties? The Galactic Bounties event? You know, what does that look like? Can you beat the last tier or the next to the last tier of that event? You know, that gives you a better gauge probably for what the legendary is going to be like.
All right.
That's what I think anyway.
Yeah. Next question from him: How much gear do I need to invest into Rolo to beat the last special mission? 10. You could get away with it at 9, but 10 is really a safe bet for the for Rolo for that one. That's for the ATST one. So yeah, because you go in there with your, I always go in there with the JTR team, or sometimes I'll go with COS or something. But yeah, it's you just need her to survive, really.
Here's the other thing too: is there's a special mechanic for like 5 characters in that event, right? Mm-hmm. So all of the 5 characters, whenever you're going up in a special mission, these 5 characters have a special deal. And what are 4 characters? So CLS, Rolo, and Hoth Rebel Scout and Hoth Rebel Soldier. If they die, they come back, but you just have to kill somebody the next round. So potentially, if you went in there with Rolo and you go in there with CLS and they die, you get the opportunity to kill one of the ads, and then those characters are back again. So if you're going to need to limp in there, make sure you bring a character like CLS, where if he dies, then you can go after one of the ads and kill an ad before his turn again, and then you'll get to keep him.
There you go.
Well, that too, like Ranger just said, he uses JTR, right? When the event first came out, Nukin put out a video with JTR, BB-8, GK, and then I changed his 4th to Hermit Yoda, and you can just full auto it.
Yeah, but you got to remember, some of these guys are limping in there, right? I mean, if they don't have Hermit Yoda,
right.
Here's why I'm saying, we're trying to get them to limp in. How do they limp into it, right?
Yeah.
If they've got if they've got CLS and Rolo die and they kill one of the ads, then they get the ability to kill one to use that character a second time, and they don't really die. That's the reason why I'm saying to limp into it that.
Right.
Use the specific advantages that table has to your advantage.
All right. What else? 3 question. Do all pirates use Walmart or just Canadian pirates? Captain T, he be talking to you.
Oh, she's gone. She's trying to find the Northwest Passage.
Or she be gone. Well, them Canadian pirates be shopping at Walmart frequently. Nathaniel Morgan, question: if someone Zeta's initiate for Deathstorm, would it be right to demand a refund?
Man. I mean,
there'd be a lot of Nightsister hate be going on.
We'll be looking at this tonight.
I mean, if somebody Zeta'd Initiate thinking it was an awesome Zeta,
I don't
that's
understand
on
that.
them.
Yeah, that was never recommended.
No,
by anyone.
No.
By anyone.
Ever, never, ever.
I don't think anyone, even people that were trying to run that weak zombie P3 team, never recommended for you to Zeta Initiate.
No.
So that's on you, whoever did that.
That one. All right, Brazos, question: is that someone's child drawn on screen? I blame Finn for it. Well, Finn, you've been called out for your drawing artistic ability.
Hey, I don't think I'm doing that bad.
Okay, Nathaniel Morgan, question: why was T-Money abusing power in RSG Discord? I thought Canadians were supposed to be nice. I'm not aware if she was abusing power in RSG Discord. What'd she do?
She be being T-Money the way only T-Money.
Or she be questioning folks and going after them. That's what your pirate does. Look at your drawing thing. It does look like a child.
Hey!
It's not bad, though. It's not bad. It is what it is. And last one, Captain Obvious question. Name your favorite Star Wars pirate in a pirate voice. Voltron.
Your favorite Star Wars pirate? I mean,
it'd be Han Solo.
That's what Lando be saying.
But he's not really a pirate.
Well, he is.
He ain't be a pirate, then Star Wars be misleading me.
I thought
Lando just called him.
I thought Hondo was a pirate.
Yes. I think a lot of the smugglers and stuff were pirates in a sense.
He be loving them Ugnuts.
It'd be true. It'd be true, Grandi. Don't be fighting the pirate way of naming. All right, those are all the questions, Dr. Finn.
All right. Let me double check here. Oh, we're already 10 minutes over though. So
okay. Yeah, that's the one I have that you gave me. So that's all the questions.
I don't think my Vader is that bad.
Your what?
I don't think my Vader is that bad.
That's not bad. I didn't say it was bad. Relax, Dr. Finn. And someone's pouring a drink.
No, I was pouring water for the dog.
Okay, well, that's a drink for your dog. So there you go. All right, it'd be done then. All right, so that's our show for today. Thank you guys for stopping by. If you have more questions, then please come into our Discord. We have a great community of people that you can ask questions there. Remember, tonight is our big Star Wars Galaxy Heroes show. We will be covering the Nightsisters, Chewie, a whole bunch of stuff be coming down the pipe. So please check that out. It's 8 p.m. Eastern on this channel. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on the video. Again, it helps us. Whatever you're doing, stop right now and hit that thumbs up. We really do appreciate it, and it does support us tremendously. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe if you like the content that we're putting out. That way you can get notified of when we are going live. We do a lot of live streaming.
Hit the bell button for notifications.
That's right. See, Grande's on it. And if you haven't checked out our Patreon, check out our Patreon as well. Finn, you want to tell people about the GoFundMe?
I'd be upset that people were making fun of me drawing.
Well, just because you're a child.
I got a compliment from Silverbolt, so you all can
so
go
there. Oh well, hey. I mean,
so
that's high,
with
that's high praise.
It is. Silverbolt, all that matters. Okay, so yeah, I know. Remember to save. I'm gonna save it now before Silverbolt attacks me. Okay, so what we have going on, if you guys aren't aware, so we did a charity stream this year in June for 2018, and we raised over $10,000 with the help of you guys for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and we greatly appreciated it. Part of what we want to do as Reality Skewed gamers and working with the community is also try and make sure that we're helping the community all the time. And so we are planning our fundraiser for 2019. And for 2019, we have picked the charity that we are going to be working with, and we will be announcing it on the night stream tonight. So you guys will be able to hear that. I'll give you a little hint. It is a well-known organization that has helped quite a few people. I'll say it may not have solved it, but it has done a great deal in helping towards the cure. There you go. That's your hint for our organization that we're working with for tonight. And with that, we are planning to go to Orlando in April 2019 to do a half marathon, and we're starting to train for that and everything. And that's kind of a pain, I have to say. It's definitely a challenge to train for a half marathon. And so with that, again, we need to go to Orlando in April, and we need some help with regards to the travel. And so in the description of our YouTube video, you will see a link to the GoFundMe page that we have in order to help us. We will be updating it during the stream tonight. And so because we have some really fun and exciting news that we're going to be announcing to everybody with regards to that. So it will be it'll be a stream to remember, in my opinion. So we need help with getting to Orlando. The GoFundMe is there. It's going just to the travel for the RSG crew to Orlando, and anything extra gotten through the GoFundMe is going to go directly to the charity. And once we get that done, we're actually going to go into a lot more detail about the fundraising. I'll tell you right now, our goal is more than 50% increase than what we got this past year. And so we do have some major goals and aspirations here with the help of the community, and we think we can make this a bigger year. So make sure you guys join us tonight for those announcements, as well as the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes stuff, because I think as all of us as a community can really make a difference for these kind of things, and we're hoping to help kind of bring everyone together for it.
All right. So that's our show for today, guys. Thank you guys for stopping by. We'll check you out later on. And everyone have a great rest of your hump day, and we will talk to you then.
Stop making fun of my drawing. All of you are bad people.